not too shabby. Welcome back, everyone. As you can probably guess, we were going over this pistol right here that you guys saw in the intro, as well as the thumbnail. This is the new, at least relatively new, Kimber 2K11 Pro. So the Pro is essentially a commander size version, for those of you guys who are familiar with 1911 terminology, where we have a 4.25-inch barrel on there and still have the full-size frame on there. These come in 5 different configurations, at least as when I'm recording the video right now. And this one actually isn't out yet. I believe it'll be out in December. Don't quote me on that, but all the other variants are out. This one will be coming later, which is probably why my review is a little bit later than everybody else's. But I think this is one of the coolest configurations for sure. And for those that don't know, Kimber has been putting out their 2K11 in the 5-inch variant for a while. We actually have a review coming on this. Stay tuned for that. But I wanted to get to the new one first because I know that's the new hotness and what everybody wants to know about. So I suppose with that, we'll just start here at the bottom and then sort of work our way up for some semblance of order. Dropping the magazine out, we do have the new Checkmate 19-round flush fit mags. So these are kind of cool. They actually sponsored a video, not this one, a few months ago on the channel when these were first launched. So I've had these in for a long time now, and they've been utterly reliable. And the cool thing is most flush fit mags in 2011s are going to be 17 rounds. So they figured out a way to re-engineer it and make it fit 19 flush fit, which is cool. Checkmate mags are excellent, and they're one of my go-to mags for 2011 style pistols for sure. So that is the magazine, good to go on that one. As you guys can see there, we have a big old mag well on this particular model. Has the Cerakote finish on there, and it has the pin that you can drive it out if you want to. If you want to conceal carry this and you don't want that mag well, you can take it off. That said, I do like it. It does help with mag reloads. That said, I did have one issue in terms of mag reloads, so let's take a look at that. So that just happened. That was not planned at all. I went to insert the mag and it kind of got hung up there. Just something to point out is possible. Now that only happened once in the entire time we've had the gun, and reloaded it multiple times, both here, just doing dry fire, as well as with real ammo out there on the range. So I don't really think it's a big deal, just know that it can happen. But the actual grip module on this one is made out of aluminum. They have other models that are made out of polymer, and I'm sure there will be other materials coming in the future as well. The frame itself is stainless steel, as is obviously the slide and the barrel. So we have good checkering all the way around on the grip, especially on the back strap, which again, a lot of companies get wrong. They definitely didn't on this one. And the front strap as well has very good checkering. I've shot this gun in very near 100-degree temps with high humidity and had no issues with it moving around or anything like that. I have a good undercut there on the trigger guard, allowing you to get around and get some leverage there on the front strap, which I definitely do dig, especially when you combine that with the mag well itself. It definitely just kind of locks your hand in place, which is great. Safety on the gun, continuing on up, is ambidextrous. That said, it is larger on the left side than it is on the right side. For me, that's perfect. If you guys have watched me shooting 2011s over the years, one thing you'll see me do from time to time with a 2011, some of them anyway, particularly ones that have larger size safeties on there, is that under recoil, some people think I'm bumping it with my thumb. I'm not. Under recoil, my knuckle right here will bump it up into the safe position accidentally if it's too large. I did not have that issue once with this gun. So for me, that's perfect. That said, if you're a left-handed person, you may want a larger safety on the primary side of your gun. I don't know, maybe you won't, maybe you will. Lefties out there, let me know. Of course, we skipped over the fact that it does have a grip safety on there. Some of the 2011 style guns are skipping that these days. Some of them are keeping it. Really user preference at that point, but it has that nice large bump on there, so I never missed it, not once, throughout the testing of this gun. Continuing on up, mag release is standard size, has good checkering on there, and no issues with it at all. I do not like oversized mag releases. Again, many of you guys probably know that if you watch the channel on here. The actual slide stop lever is recessed into the actual grip a little bit, if that makes sense. So the grip module comes right up and it's almost in line with it. You can definitely hit it with your dominant hand. I have XL size hands for folks who are new here, but it's not extended like some of the 2011 style pistols out there have. Again, I kind of think that's a user preference thing. I don't mind it at all. And before we get into this fantastic trigger, we do need to take a quick break and thank the sponsor of the video, but we'll be right back. Sponsor of today's video, and that is the Stinger Combat Optic. It's a mil-spec holographic optic that brings military grade tech to your rifle. A crisp HD circle dot with a 1 MOA center dot, as well as that 65 MOA outer ring that many of you guys know. It also allows you to select between red and green illuminations with 8 brightness levels that are easy to adjust as the lighting conditions you're shooting in also adjust. The optic is built tough with an aluminum housing. It's both fog and shock proof. However, it only weighs 6.9 ounces. It's lightweight and battle ready. It mounts to Picatinny, Weaver, and Mill standard rails, and it runs on a rechargeable CR123A battery and has auto shutoff to maintain good battery life. Typically, the optic comes in at $240. However, now with my link, it is just $79. That's 67% off for my audience, plus free shipping and a 60-day money-back guarantee. You head over to mcgtac.com/GNG to pick one up. With that out of the way, we're going to get into this fantastic trigger. First off, one thing a lot of people don't know is that it has that K on there on the trigger. That's not just random fluting. It is, in fact, a K. But again, ensure we are clear, and we are going to have a little bit of take up there. Press through. It breaks right at 3.5 pounds on my scale. I think the spec is like 3 to 4 pounds, so it's within spec, certainly. And then the reset. Very short, very crisp. It definitely is predictable. It's an excellent trigger, like most of these style guns trigger. I wouldn't say it's the best ever, but I would say it's better than a lot of them. And one thing I personally like about it is the flat shoe on there. A lot of these 2011 style triggers will have the curve in it. A lot of them actually use polymer triggers, which this one definitely doesn't use. So I do like that, but I have no issues with that trigger. I would absolutely not change a thing with it, so that certainly is good. There's one, I guess, thing that I would say is will bother some people. It has a little bit of side-to-side movement. I don't know if my mic can pick that up, but there is a little bit in there. That said, when you're actually shooting it, you will never, ever in a million years notice that. Continuing on forward, of course, trigger guard has that little squared edge there, so that way if you want to run your finger up front, I know some guys like to do that, you certainly can do so. Continuing out front, we do have a dust rail with multiple 1913 spec slots on there, so you can run your lights, lasers, whatever you want that makes you happy, you can do it on there. And then looking at the gun from the front, you will notice a gigantic bull barrel that has a sweet crown on there. That thing is fantastic. Definitely dig it for sure. And one other thing that is a feature that I really, really like about this gun is the guide rod. So the guide rod is toolless. So basically you just turn it, it locks it, and then you can take it apart for disassembly without a tool. A lot of these 2011 style guns have a little, like a paper clip that you have to put in there in order to get the gun apart. Not this one. I definitely do dig that. The barrel on it, of course, has that DLC finish on there, and we do have fluting back here towards the chamber. Additionally, we do have a loaded chamber indicator there on the back side of the barrel. It does have a DLC finish on there, that copper DLC finish. And one thing I like about it is right up there on the front, it is scalloped out completely. On the rear, it's not. Of course, those serrations are perfectly usable, but those are fantastic. And for those of you guys that like to rack the slide from the front, it makes it extremely easy. And I've actually got a little bit of skin on mine right now that's come off my hands from racking it, so that is a good thing. I personally do dig that. Continuing rearward, it does come with a C&H precision plate, and you bolt that down, and then of course the one that comes with it from the factory is going to be RMR pattern. We have the RMR on there, and it works just fine. One thing I would like to see on the plate system is a backup rear sight. I know some folks don't like that, but I personally do, and there's plenty of room for it, so I definitely think that could be an improve. I know there are other plates that work with the 2K11s, and some folks have reported their optics coming loose with this plate system. I've not had that yet. That hasn't happened. So my sample size of one here, it has been fine. Of course, I mounted it with Loctite and all of those sorts of things. It hasn't come loose yet, but it's not at the highest round count either. So that could certainly be playing into it. And then of course, our hammer is a traditional 2011 style hammer on there, and it's showing somewhere, but that's just because we have used it. And one other thing I forgot to mention there when going over the slide is that front sight. It is a protected fiber optic front sight, and if you are running it with the iron sights, it comes with a blacked out rear. That is one of my preferred sight pictures. I really do like that. Just makes your eye naturally go to that front sight, and then of course you can transition beyond that target focused, but you can still see it if that makes sense. And that really is something that I personally like like in terms of a sight setup. And additionally, you guys have seen me manipulating the slide throughout this video. One thing that is very nice about this gun is it is fit extremely well. All of these 2K11 Pros are made by a single gunsmith in-house. It does also come with backup fiber optics if you guys want to switch it out for green or something like that. That is nice, but again, it's fit together and put together by one gunsmith all the way through from start to finish, and you can really tell it took some effort to get everything fit very, very well from the factory. Additionally, while I'm running it, thinking about it, it does have a 12-pound recoil spring in there, which definitely impacts how the gun shoots. So with that, let's talk about that. Which one should you get, right? Well, this one here also has most of the same systems that this one has, or features rather. This obviously has a different grip module, different style. Again, we'll get to that in the video. But one thing I would say in terms of like if you're trying to decide which to go with, obviously if you're going to carry it, you'd probably want one of the Pro models because it's a little bit shorter and easy to carry around. Not a whole lot of people want 5 inches sticking down in their pants. That's one thing. Additionally, what I would say is that if you are somebody who prefers a Glock 17 or a Glock 47 recoil impulse over, say, like 17 is a better example, like a Gen 4 Glock 17 over like a 19X, if you prefer that style recoil, probably the 5 inch is the one to go with. That's a little bit slower, if you will. However, if you prefer a little bit punchier but faster on target, at least how it is perceived anyway when you're actually shooting it, then this one would be the one to go with in my opinion. Again, both have been very good so far, but that is just, they do feel different in terms of how they track when you're shooting the guns for sure. And all in all, some things to kind of touch on before we close it out. First off, of course, as I said, it's not going to be out until December, so of course Kimber did send this out for the review. They don't get to see it first, nothing like that, but they did send it out, so just full disclosure on that. Things I would change, I think we already talked about it. Again, rear sight, I would add one there to the plate for sure, and maybe if you could snug up that trigger a little bit, that side to side wobble. Other than that, guys, I mean, this thing's pretty nice. We have 800 rounds, just over 800 rounds through it. Zero malfunctions of any kind. Almost all of that was MagTech 115 grain, which also plays a role, of course, in the recoil impulse. And then we ran some 147 grain Fiocchi. All of that ammo from our friends over at Firearms Depot. They have become the ammo sponsor here on the channel for all loads now at this point, so we definitely appreciate them sending it out so that way we can put the rounds through it and get you guys the results that we had today. But again, zero failures of any kind with both the hull points and the full metal jacket, so you just can't do better than that. Now, the part that you guys are going to get mad about, and you guys are probably already typing about down below, is going to be the price point on this. So again, there's, I believe, 5 different models as of right now. The MSRP is somewhere between 2,200 units of measure all the way up to 2,699 units of measure. It just depends on the feature set that you want. Of course, units of measure are whatever they are in your country. We can't say price on YouTube, so that's kind of how we describe it here. But it is an expensive gun for sure. It is not inexpensive. However, for an American-made 2011 style gun, I think it's very competitive with the other options that are going to be in that price range for sure. There are some MIM parts used on the gun, which is something that people will also complain about down below in the comment section. However, at this point, these guns right here, the 5-inch versions, have been out for a long time, and there are a lot of people with well over 10,000 rounds through them. I haven't heard of any issues at all with these guns, like none. Like one-off issues, sure, you're going to have that with every gun, but like for example on the Springfield Prodigy, just to give an example, there are certain parts on that gun that everyone knows will break once you get to a couple thousand rounds. That is not the case with these guns. They've been out for a while. They've established a very good track record, in my opinion, and also in my opinion, or my experience rather, I should say. Kimber, since they moved to Alabama, has totally changed the guns that they're putting out. So I've been reviewing Kimbers for, I guess, 12 years now, quite a long time. And when they were in New York, you guys can go watch my old videos, I had problems with them. I did. Since they've moved to Alabama, I don't know if all the new factory equipment and QC processes that they have in place, I've had no issues with the Kimbers that have come out of that factory. So it's not your granddad's, Kimber, if that makes sense. So I think that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions about the gun, anything like that, definitely post down below in the comment section. You can also post those over at my various social media sites that you see here on your screen. Definitely recommend following there when these things go on sale. They will be on my non-meta social media sites for you guys to pick up and save some money. Additionally, if you like this video and you're not subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell on both Rumble and YouTube. And if you have done that and you're not seeing 2 to 4 videos a week, you're being censored by an algorithm from my content. Super easy way to get around that is to sign up for the email at the website here on your screen. This email goes out once a month. and it has all the videos since the prior month's email went out, so that way there's no big tech giant censoring your eyes from my content because it goes straight into your inbox once a month. That will also get you put on the daily deals email list. That goes out, as the name indicates, every day, and it has typically 8 to 10 of the best deals that we find around the internet on a given day. If the item, whatever it is, guns, gear, optics, etc., ammo. If it is the cheapest that I know of anywhere on the internet for that item, it will be in the email. So that way it saves you guys some time and some money because I've already done the price comparisons for you. And lastly, we also have an SMS service that you guys can sign up for at the website here on your screen, or you can text the word gear to the number here on your screen. And when you do that, that will get you signed up for the SMS list. That goes out at most once a day. And it has typically a really smoking deal that I know is going to sell out, or it has a new video that just dropped, once again, allowing me to bypass the algorithm and let you guys actually see my content. So with that, that's all I got. Thank you all for watching. I truly appreciate it. I look forward to seeing everybody in the next video.